David's Bridal was a bridal store chain that opened in 1950 and is closing in 2023. Thank you for your suggestions.
It's the $99 sale going on now at David's Bridal. Every wedding gown is on sale, with select gowns on sale for only $99. Plus every other wedding gown, thousands, all reduced.
In 1950, a man named David Reisberg opened a bridal salon named David's Bridal. Reisberg was a veteran of World War II. In 1945, fresh from returning home from the war, David Reisberg was making wedding gowns. He enjoyed designing and sewing the gowns and would sell them for a profit. At some point, Reisberg made the move to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where he founded the very first David's Bridal location. For 20 years, Reisberg would operate his business with success in Fort Lauderdale. By 1972, Reisberg was ready for a change of pace. He went on to become a realtor and sold the salon to Florida native Philip Uti. Uti bought the salon with hopes of expanding the company, but kept the original name. The company followed the ever-changing trends, switching to simple and less ornate gowns in the 1970s. True to UT's plan, 18 more salons opened throughout Florida. Another goal was to cater to brides who valued quality but at an affordable price, and brides loved it. As the business continued to grow, UT needed more help to dive deeper into the bridal space. From 1973 to 1988, UT owned 18 stores, which he operated primarily as leased bridal boutiques and department stores under the David's banner. UT's traditional bridal salons developed a strong presence throughout Florida, but UT believed that times are changing. He observed that many future brides flocking around clearance racks. He believed that brides in the 1980s were different from brides in the past, who often spent a great deal of time and money selecting and purchasing a wedding gown. It wasn't until the late 80s that UT decided to experiment with a different business model, and in 1991, he and his childhood friend, Stephen Earlbaum, opened the first David's Bridal warehouse in Hollandale, Florida. The location wasn't glamorous at all, and there was no carpet or dressing rooms. The bridal warehouse was the first of its kind. Stores were larger than average, about 12,000 square feet as compared with the average 2,500 square foot bridal salon, and carried a full selection of wedding gowns in many different sizes and special occasion dresses and accessories, including headpiece foundations, gloves, and shoes. Unlike the traditional bridal salons with luxurious interiors and full-service sales associates, the warehouse had no frills. Customers searched through racks and racks of wedding gowns with little help from sales associates. Signs were posted in the warehouse, warning customers that sales were final and there was no on-site alterations. Although the warehouse offered little in terms of comfort, brides-to-be could expect a bargain. They could walk out with a designer replica costing only about $150 to $900. A bride could expect to pay about 35% less for a gown at David's Bridal Warehouse. David's Bridal became known as the Walmart of the wedding industry, a title the company rejected. There is little brand name recognition apart from the upper end of the price spectrum in the bridal business, Earlbaum explained. We cover all price points and all segments of the market, from blue collar to affluent. In 1994 and 95, David's Bridal grew from 14 to 36 stores. The company hired a new management team to better handle its new stores and upgraded its existing stores. The company decided to convert its warehouses to bridal superstores. A bridal superstore offered the wide selections of a bridal warehouse, but with nicer surroundings and better service. David's Bridal believed that superior customer service was the key to the company's future success. Management knew that if a bride-to-be bought a dress at David's Bridal and was satisfied with the service, she was more likely to buy the bridesmaid dresses there. If the bridesmaids liked their dresses, they were more likely to come back to David's Bridals when they were looking for their own bridal gowns. The company's new and upgraded bridal superstores had better lighting, comfortable dressing rooms, and stylish interiors, and on-site alterations. David's Bridal quick expansion and store upgrades put a strain on its capital resources and inventory controls. Because of its expenses, the company posted a loss of $415,000 in 1996. In 1999, UT decided to take their company public for a whopping $100 million. The IPO was used to pay off the debt and further expand the chain. Just 1 year later, May Department Stores Company bought David's Bridal for $436 million. While many brides were certainly benefiting from the extremely low prices of David's Bridal wedding wear, many independent bridal stores were beginning to suffer. By 2003, David's Bridal had already dominated 20% of the bridal gown market in the United States. At this point in time, they had 181 stores, and as the first company to both mass-produce gowns and carry a full stock of ready-to-wear dresses in each of its stores, mom-and-pop stores were limited in what they could do to compete. David's Bridal, on the other hand, stocked dresses from sizes 2 through 26, and the average wedding gown at David's Bridal was around $500, about $300 less than the national average of the time. On November 17, 2006, David's Bridal was purchased by Leonard Green & Partners. David's Bridal was now the only nationwide competitor of bridal stores. 1 in 4 American brides were dressed by David's Bridal. On October 11, 2012, Clayton, Dublier, and Rice acquired David's Bridal in a deal that valued the company at $1.05 billion. However, the number of weddings have declined overall in the United States over the last 10 years. With that, David's numbers have as well. To try and boost sales, the company had partnered with more upscale brands like Vera Wang. As if declining sales weren't bad enough, David's Bridal was now facing another problem. By 2018, changes came within the bridal industry. More and more brides began opting for casual wedding gowns. With H&M and other large affordable stores creating their own bridal collections, the need for specialty bridal stores like David's Bridal wasn't as important anymore. The chain filed for bankruptcy in November of 2018, but was able to keep its doors open. The company was over $700 million in debt at the time. The company emerged from bankruptcy in January of 2019 by shrinking its debt by $450 million. The pandemic and changing bridal trends further hurt its business in 2020 and beyond, causing David's Bridal to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy again in 2023.
David's Bridal has filed for bankruptcy protection just days after announcing thousands of workers would be laid off.
Soon, Brian, the company says it intends to fulfill all orders, but in a court filing said if a buyer isn't found, stores may close. Again, they remain open for now as David's Bridal seeks a buyer to take over the company.
David's Bridal currently operates 298 stores in 49 states, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Over 9,000 employees could be laid off and stores may close if a buyer cannot be found for the struggling store chain. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.